Why does your parents' money advice feel like it's yelling at you in 2026? Picture this. You're at your kitchen table, staring at your phone. The screen says rent renewal, and the number underneath it is higher. Your chest tightens. You don't even tap the email yet because you already know what it says. Then your dad texts you, just buy a house, renting is throwing money away. So you open a mortgage calculator, and the rate staring back at you is basically a slap. Freddie Mac had the average 30-year fixed mortgage rate at 6.11% as of February 5th, 2026. Here's a surprise. Your parents aren't dumb. Their map is just from a different city. In about a minute, I'll show you the 2 hidden assumptions inside their advice and why those assumptions don't hold now. Then, I'll give you the modern replacement playbook so you can breathe again, feeling control, and stop spiraling every time a bill shows up. And there's one rule that makes it click. My name is Greek Man. I've watched empires ruin themselves by ignoring simple math, and I'm here because modern people turned money into a panic button. If you want calm, practical rules, hit subscribe. Now, before we dive in, let's name the feeling. Money fear at 30, 35, 40 isn't always I'm broke. It's that stomach drop moment when a normal expense shows up and your brain goes, what if I can't? It's that pause before you hit pay because you're hoping the app glitches and the balance magically changes. And the desire is simple, relief. You want to handle a surprise without bargaining with yourself. You want to open your bank app and not feel judged by a number. So here's the rule I want you to steal immediately because it predicts anxiety better than your salary. Days of control. How many days could you pay your core life with no new income? Core expenses only. Housing, utilities, food, transportation, insurance. That's it. Simple example. If your core expenses are $150 per day, then 10 days of control equals $1,500. That's not wealth. That's breathing room. That's your nervous system unclenching. Most people think wealth is a number in an account, but peace is time you've already paid for. Now we can talk about your parents' advice. Here are the 2 assumptions hiding inside most parents' money advice. Assumption 1. Fixed costs stayed reasonable compared to income. Housing, insurance, groceries, these were a smaller bite, so just save more was actually possible without turning life into misery. Assumption 2. The path was more stable. One job could last. Benefits were better. Some people had pensions. The floor under you felt thicker. If those assumptions are true, advice like buy a house ASAP and save 10% can work. But if those assumptions are false, the same advice turns into shame because you can't discipline your way out of math that no longer fits. And it gets worse in 2026 because modern life is basically payments in a trench coat. And I need you to feel this part, so here's a quick montage, 15 seconds. Ready? Car payment, $540. Car insurance, $220. Phone plan, $108.50. Student loan, $310. Subscriptions, $64. Streaming bundle, $18. Gym you don't go to, $29. Buy now, pay later split payment, $75. And then rent jumps by $180 on renewal. That's over $1,500 a month before you even get to groceries, gas, or one single life happens surprise. So when your parents say, just save more, what you hear is, just ignore the math. And that's why it feels like yelling. Here's where it gets interesting. Your parents' advice usually attacks the wrong layer. They tell you to cut spending, but the real enemy is fixed cost pressure plus invisible commitments. This is the leak, recurring costs you stop noticing. This is the squeeze, necessities getting more expensive faster than your flexibility. This is the trap. You try to optimize tiny things while the big things keep growing. Analogy 1, and I'm only giving you a few because I'm not running an analogy factory. Using your parents' advice in 2026 is like using a 2006 roadmap for a city that built 3 new highways. You're not lost because you're bad at directions. The map is outdated. So what do? We go in order, because scarcity mode makes you reactive. When you feel behind, you grab short-term relief. You swipe, you finance. You tell yourself you'll catch up next month, and next month is already booked. Most modern people think budgeting is the fix, but budgeting without days of control is just anxiety with categories. So here's the modern replacement playbook. Simple, practical, no guilt. Step 1. Measure days of control first. Tonight, calculate your core expense daily number. Add up your monthly core expenses: rent, utilities, basic groceries, transportation, insurance. Divide by 30. If it's $150 a day and you have $300 set aside, you have 2 days of control. If you have $1,500, you have 10 days of control. If you have $4,500, you have 30 days of control. That number tells you the truth faster than any "I feel like I'm doing okay." Step 2. Build a calm number in checking. Pick the minimum balance you refuse to cross in checking. $300, $500, $1,000, whatever is realistic. This is not investing. This is stability. And you rebuild it automatically after payday. Because when checking hits zero, your brain turns into a raccoon in a trash can. Panic decisions everywhere. Step 3. Do a subscription sweep. 2 cuts only. Open your subscriptions, cancel 2, downgrade 1. Do not try to become a monk tonight. If you overcorrect, you rebound and resubscribe. Analogy 2. Subscriptions are like tiny holes in a boat. 1 drip is whatever. 10 drips is "why am I sinking?" Step 4. Cap payment stacking. This is the 2026 rule. No new monthly payments until you have your calm number built and at least 14 days of control saved. Because in 2026, your means get eaten by payments before you even choose. This is the modern version of live below your means. It's not about coffee, it's about commitments. Step 5. Build to 30 days of control. 1 month of core expenses. Not a fantasy lifestyle. Core expenses. Because 1 month changes how you move at work. It changes how you handle emergencies. It changes how you sleep. Step 6. Deal with high interest debt like it's a leak, not a moral failure. Credit cards aren't evil, but balances at modern rates are brutal. Commercial bank credit card interest rates were about 20.97% in November 2025. Fred, 2025, 20.97%. So the goal is simple. Stop the balance from growing, then attack the highest rate. Even $50 extra a month is you saying, "I'm not feeding this thing." Step 7. Update the house advice into a rule that fits 2026. Your parents said, buy a house as soon as you can. In 2026, the better rule is, don't buy a payment you can't breathe under. If the payment forces you to carry credit card balances, you're buying stress. If the payment wipes out your days of control, you're buying fragility. If you're one surprise away from panic after buying the house didn't solve anything. It just changed the type of panic. Okay, one exception, because life can be messy. If you're behind on essentials, rent, utilities, shut-off notices, get current first. Stabilize the roof. Then come right back to days of control and the calm number. You can't build peace while the floor is collapsing. Now, the relapse trap, because this is where people lose. You make progress, you feel relief for the first time in months, and then you reward yourself by adding a payment. A nicer car, a bigger apartment, a financed phone upgrade, a new small subscription stack. And the reason it's dangerous is emotional. Relief feels like permission. Most modern people think progress should feel like spending, but real progress feels boring for a while. Analogy 3 and final. A buffer is a shock absorber. Without it, every pothole feels like the car is dying. With it, the same pothole is just a bump. Now we end practical, because this is what gets saved and replayed. Do this tonight in 10 minutes. Open your bank app, check your current cash you can touch. Write your monthly core expenses: rent, utilities, basic groceries, transport, insurance. Divide by 30, that's your dollars per day. Divide your available cash by dollars per day, that's your days of control. Write the number. Cancel 2 subscriptions right now, not later, now. Pick your calm number, $300, $500, $1,000, and set 1 automatic transfer to rebuild it on payday. That's it. No spreadsheets, no guilt, no motivational quotes. Because your parents' advice didn't fail because you're weak. It failed because it was written for a lighter world. In 2026, you don't win by stacking vibes, you win by stacking days. Discipline is freedom, not punishment. You're not denying yourself a life. You're buying your life back, one boring, powerful rule at a time.